try to stop talking about Khamzat. I try. But I keep seeing new things and I keep putting new connections together that I got to share with you. So here we go. Khamzat is, you know how we've been seeing him call out literally everybody? And this is weird. Something's going on. Now we're hearing Neil Magny. Are you guys hearing this too? This is crazy. Like, we keep hearing who it's going to be and then it's not them. Gilbert Burns, and we're like, yeah. They're like, Leon Edwards, and we're like, yeah. And now they're talking about like Neil Magny, and I'm kind of like, yeah, I guess. You know, it's just a little more lackluster than what they're getting us excited about. I think they're truly trying to find a fight for Khamzat, and nobody's taking it. Chael Sonnen did a whole video on changing the contracts to 4 fights of the fighters choosing to obligating them to take a fight if you offer it to them, which is
pretty hardcore, Chael.
I mean, that's a fighter's mentality though, right? A fighter/businessman mentality, which Chael is now. And probably always was. Okay, in my last video, I pointed out I think Khamzat is very intelligent. More intelligent than we realize. Because he's executing business and his marketing and his promotion like a boss. He's executing it just as well as he's executing his opponents in the octagon. And I'll tell you how. He's picking fights with so many different fighters all over the map. Every time he talks shit to another fighter, right? Anytime he starts beef, talks shit, gets a dialogue going, he's selling a possible fight with them. So while all these other UFC fighters are staying quiet, being respectful, being the ethical warrior, they're not getting seen. They're not, the UFC has to look at papers and try to figure out who to match up together. Khamzat is in a whole nother probably UFC business binder, matchmaking binder. He's at the top of it, you know, in big bold letters. Khamzat Chimaev. And then they have a bunch of question marks with people's names next to it. They're having a hard time finding him a fight. But what he's doing is he's setting up all these possible different fights because he's very active. If you haven't figured that out by now, he's probably going crazy not having a fight every weekend. He's out wrestling and doing as many different competitive matches in the combat world as possible that he can get away with, you know?
He's a hungry wolf, and Dana White's having a hard time feeding him.
But I think it's smart that he's setting up all these beefs. Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz, Colby Covington, he's hitting them all.
All of them.
You know, he's like, he wants to fight everybody. Everybody can get it. He wants to fight anybody because nobody wants to fight him, you know? Would you want to fight him? If, let's say you were number 5 in the welterweight division, you already have clout, and you already have been paid decent sized checks. You already have a built up reputation in the company and in the community. And then this freaking savage comes out of nowhere just tearing through everybody. And Dana's like,
You want to fight him? You want this one?
And the fighter's like,
hell no, get that thing away from me, no.
But the way it comes out in the fight world, the way that whole, no, get him away from me, the way that comes out in the fight world through the fighter's mind and then his mouth, they'll say things like,
No, I don't fight amateurs. No, he's got to work his way up the rankings.
You know, it has nothing to do with that because a super fight is a super fight. And Khamzat is a super fight. He was practically a super fight in his 3rd fight. And every time he wins in that dominant fashion that he's been doing, it's just extrapolating and compounding, and he's becoming more and more and more well-known all over the world. It's amazing. I'm constantly open to looking at new content on Khamzat, obviously. Anytime I see something new, I'm clicking on it like, whoa, what's that? I need to know about that. You know, he's fascinating, but he's very, very intelligent. Business, and in the octagon. It's just incredible. But yeah, Khamzat is setting up a bunch of different possible fights. So he's giving the UFC lots of different options. But even though he's giving them lots of different options, people are truly scared to fight him. And if you think that I'm wrong, you're wrong. You're wrong. Because I understand the business. And the business side says, why take that risk when I would be paid just as much to fight this guy that I think I might be able to beat? That guy's going to humiliate me. So that's why these fighters don't want to fight him that are ranked above him. The only ones that are going to fight him are the ones that are cornered into doing it. Probably Colby Covington, Gilbert Burns. And if Usman hasn't retired by then, which I'd be surprised, then Usman. Anyway, just had to share that connection with you guys. If you like the content, subscribe, comment down below, tell me what you think. And there's one more thing I wanted to tell you. Oh yeah.
Ring the bell.
Catch you guys next time.